Do you ever get the feeling that silver and gold are living on borrowed time? And what I mean by that is that we are fastly approaching a period where we could see massive price increases in silver and gold. Guys, when we look all over the world, when we look at China, when we look at India, when we look at Vietnam, when we look at Thailand, and the list goes on and on, for both gold and silver, we are seeing unbelievable demand numbers. Look, we got to be real, okay? I know most of you are joining me from the West, a lot of you from the United States, Canada, a lot of you from Australia, right? And I guess, I don't know, is Australia a Western country? I'm not sure. But nonetheless, we got to be real about the fact that we can thank Asia, yes, Asia, the BRICS countries in general, for this massive price move that we've had in silver and gold. And now Elon Musk points something out on X yesterday that does have something very much to do with the silver price. And it got 10 million views or 10 million shares or whatever you want to call it. Guys, everywhere we look, there's a growing story, a growing fundamental story for the silver and gold price. And it's mostly being driven by Asia, okay? But the good news is, as you know, that if the Western investors just stop hating gold and silver so much, right? I've heard Rick Rule say that. And by the way, I will be having Rick Rule as a guest here in the basement in just a few weeks. But I loved when Rick Rule said that, like he was talking about silver. And he said, we don't need silver to be loved for the price to go through the roof, to be loved by Western investors. No, we just need it to be a little less hated. I mean, we have so much runway for improvement in the silver price just when the Western investor comes back, right? I mean, wait till you see this data that I'm going to show you regarding what's going on in Asia. It is fascinating, but let's start by taking a look at, and I am in PFC. Hold on. Bear with me. We are live in Ron's basement, and I think you're still here, right? Yeah, you're still here. Let's go take a look at this tweet from Elon Musk, the one and only Elon Musk. I hear that his car company, Tesla, is having a good morning. I know there's people have a variety of opinions regarding Tesla, but nonetheless, this is about solar. And he retweeted this tweet from Alex Stapp. Newly added solar capacity year to date in China. Okay, now we're going to dig into this a little more. That shows 2024. I've got another chart that'll show it better, but what you want to see is 11 million people. Now stop, basement dwellers. Stop right now. Okay? I'm telling you. When you think about a solar panel, don't think of a solar panel as a solar panel. Think of a solar panel as a 1 ounce American Silver Eagle or a 1 ounce Kruger Ant or a 1 ounce silver bar. Because at this point, okay, I know that the previous generations had about 2/3 of an ounce of silver in them, but the newer generation of solar panels have more and more silver in them. Just for example purposes, when we see a solar panel, when you're driving down the road, think of the nearest, maybe you've got them on your house, maybe your neighbors. When you look at those panels, think of an ounce of silver. And when you see what's going on in China, it is downright crazy. And when Elon Musk retweets a tweet and it gets 11 million views, things are moving. But let's go take a look at this because it explains it a little bit better. Guys, it's unbelievable the amount of demand that we are seeing for silver from the solar industry. This one came from Lori Miraverta. She says China added 19 gigawatts. I've got something also very interesting. Do you know what a gigawatt is? Huh? Eisenhower? I'll be honest with you. I'm not the biggest. I'm not an electric guru, but I've got some information for you about what a gigawatt is that you're going to find absolutely fascinating. But a gigawatt is also a huge amount of silver when it is produced by solar. Back to this tweet. Let's keep it on track here. What do you say, basement dwellers? China added 19 gigawatts of solar, 3 gigawatts of wind, and 1.2 gigawatts of nuclear in May, 79 gigawatts of solar and 20 gigawatts of wind were added between January and May. So the first 5 months of the year, increasing 29% and 21% from last year's numbers. Solar additions sped up in May from the last month in May of last year. But let's take a look at these charts. Guys, this chart on the left is the one right there. Solar, okay? Newly added power capacity year to date. Okay, look over here. 2019, 2020, 2022, 2023. Obviously, that's for the whole year. Through May of this year, we are again at adding capacity at a rate which is going to be a new record. We are living on borrowed time in the silver market. There is no other way to talk about it. We are living off the reserves. It'd be like you and your wife, or you and your husband, or you and your partner, or just you. And by the way, there is only one you. I forgot the most important part of the show. It's a big deal that you decide to give us your time graciously to join us here in the basement. On behalf of myself and Susie, Silver Susie, my wife, the boss, we want to say thank you for being here. We hope you find a little refuge from the storm, a home away from home, where you can talk about your favorite subjects. At the top of the list are, of course, silver and gold. That's what we tend to focus on this channel. So thank you for being here. Please give this a thumbs up. That helps the channel, helps get the word out to more people, and subscribe if you haven't already. That helps as well. Thank you. Now, when we're talking about this whole silver situation, 2/3 of now I forgot my train of thought. Bear with me. I'll get back on track in just 1 second. Okay. The solar story is huge, and it's going to continue to be huge. It's happening faster and faster than ever. Oh, I promised you something interesting. That's right. I know you're fascinated already, but it's going to get more fascinating. Okay. Here we go. Okay. And I think the guy, what's his name? Salivate Metal kind of broke this story last night, so I want to give him credit. But this one, the world's largest solar plant, featuring over 5 million panels. 5 million. Remember what we said earlier, guys? Just for example's sake, you can think of each panel as 1 ounce of silver. Oh, I know what it is. We're living on borrowed time. Okay, then I'm going to get back to this. Okay, we are pulling silver out of the reserves every year. It would be like if you and your partner, spouse, whatever, you yourself we're 35 or 40 years old. Wouldn't that be nice to be that young again? Huh? Those of you out there who are, enjoy your youth. But nonetheless, being 30 years old and living off your $200,000 401k balance, right? It's only going to last for so long. Say, no, I'm not going to work. I'm going to take 5 years off. Well, guess what? At the end of those 5 years, all that money's gone. That's exactly what's going on right now in the silver market. We are living on borrowed time. We are pulling from the world, from the reserves, right? It can only go on for so long, and you know the whole story. There's not new silver production coming online. Not at all. Forget about that. Sorry, Silver Institute. Okay. There will be decreasing silver production in the years to come. The world's largest solar plant. 5 million panels get switched on in China. It looks really cool. Somebody says, wait till you see this picture. You got that, my friends, is what 5 million. So think about that, not as a big field full of all those millions and millions of solar panels. That's giant fields with millions and millions of 1 ounce silver bars, American silver eagles, however you want to think about it. That's what it is. Let's just look at some of the highlights here. The title world's largest is a brief designation for wind and solar farms worldwide as they exceed established turbine height, panel count, and capacity limits. What they're saying is week after week, it seems like we're hearing about a new world's biggest solar farm. We know India also is building solar farms the size of Paris. Come on. This is huge, guys. The thing is, they're out in the middle of nowhere, so nobody sees them until I share pictures like that last one with you, right? I mean, they are building these things out all over the place. Now, a subsidiary of China Green Development Investment Group has turned on the world's largest solar plant. What's a gigawatt? Wait till you hear the gigawatt. We're going to get into that. Yes. Oh, I'm going to share it, which I forgot to do. Okay, guys, hold on. I apologize. I made a mistake. Wrong one. Okay, here we go. Here's the picture. I thank you, Susie. You saved me on that one. I forgot to share the screen. That's the picture, guys. Again, that's 5 million. That's probably only, I don't know, 1 million of them. It goes on for miles and miles, they say. That is, you think of that picture as not a bunch of solar panels, but a bunch of 1 ounce silver bars. Sorry, I forgot to share the screen. So they're talking, it's a 3.5 gigawatt operation, blah, blah, blah. This is interesting. Has more than 5,260,000 million panels, again, or we could say ounces of silver, roughly speaking. For reference, one gigawatt can power 100 million LED light bulbs. That's a lot, okay? Reuters reported that the 33,000-acre solar farm in Xinjiang, which came online on June 3rd, will generate about 6.09 billion kilowatt electricity each year, enough to power the country of Papua New Guinea. All right, so this is happening right beneath our eyes. Solar is taking off. And I think, here we go. Photovoltaic solar power generated about only 4.5%. I thought that was interesting, of global electricity in 2022. Silver and photovoltaic are hand in hand. What I think is important to recognize there for us guys, I mean, do you agree? 4.5%. If that were to, let's say, quadruple, that would be what? 18%? That's not out of line, okay? Behind hydropower and wind. But solar's growth was up 26%, with China creating about almost 40% of the new capacity. I got to come back to you guys. I really apologize. That happens from time to time. I don't realize that I'm not sharing the screen, so please forgive me. I will continue to do the best I can with my presentation skills for you here in the basement, right? And I'm going to say it again. Thank you for being here. It's a big deal. I appreciate it. Okay, and Susie says we got 100 likes. Let's do it. Huh? Let's ping it 10 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 pings of the bell for the 100 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. I will ring the other bell. Now, let's learn. This. I found this very, very interesting about a gigawatt. How much power is one gigawatt? This is quick education, but this also was kind of fascinating to me. For instance, at the end of 2022, there were over 144 gigawatts of wind power, but I didn't realize only 110 gigawatts of solar photovoltaic power in the United States. There's more wind power being generated than solar here in the United States. I have a feeling that's going to change. That's not the point of this. Stay with me because you're about to be fascinated, if you're anything like me. In purple, to help put this number into perspective, it's important to know just how big 1 gigawatt is. Like, I have no idea. Like, what's a gigawatt? A watt is a measure of power, and there are 1 billion watts in 1 gigawatt. Okay, but really, here, this is interesting. How much power is 1 gigawatt? 2.5 million solar panels. Again, guys, those aren't solar panels. Those are little silver bars. But it's also can be looked at, it's also 310 utility scale wind turbines. This is not really the interesting part. This gets more interesting. It's also 1 gigawatt is 100 million LED bulbs. Guys, the energy and electronic transformation is going on right now in our world, and it all has everything to do with silver, right? Okay, I'm staying on track with you here. This is where I got interesting. 1 gigawatt of power is also roughly equal to 1.3 million horses. I thought that was interesting. Based on horsepower to watts conversion, 746 watts equals 1 horsepower. I mean, this is how I mean, I know just to keep this in perspective, that's how, because I've heard that say about like a barrel of oil is equal to 2,000 hours of manual labor by an average man. This is how energy transformations take place. And we're going to talk a little bit more because it gets even more interesting. It's also 1 gigawatts equal to 2,000 Corvette Z06s. Kind of a cool car, no doubt about it. 9,090 Nissan Leafs. So anyway, that just gives you, I think that's the most interesting. 1 gigawatts equal to 1.3 million horses. We are in, do you believe that we are in the midst right now of an energy revolution, an electronics revolution, right? I believe we are. But what does that mean, right? That means there's one critical metal that runs common amongst almost all the technologies involved in the green energy revolution, in the electronics technology revolution, and the semiconductors, right? We're not even gonna, it's silver, right? Is silver the new oil? We talked about this like 2-3 weeks ago, right? The last 100 years, oil transformed the world because it was energy. Remember what I just said earlier? 1 barrel of oil, and don't quote me on this, but there is a stat out there, like 1 barrel of oil can create the energy that's equal to like one man working 2,000 hours a year, or however long it is, half a year and a half, whatever. But right, oil, because of technology innovations that came about 100 years ago, transformed the world from an energy perspective. Now, I'm not one of these people that says, well, in 10 years, oil's going to be gone. No, excuse me. I don't think oil's going to be gone, but I do know that green energy is taking a lion's share in the next, let's say, 20 to 50 years, 5 years, from the oil industry. And is silver the new oil for the next 100 years? Right? We're going to talk later. Silver's in everything. It's even used in nuclear reactors. I mean, it's absolutely mind-numbing what's going on right now in the world. And we're not even talking about, let's just briefly touch on, this is what's driving the metals. This is in particular what's driving the silver price. Is it any wonder? Let's run out here. Let's go out and take a look. Is it any wonder? Right, I am really impressed with silver. Let me make sure I'm on here now. Okay, I am. And here we are at the Pimbex website. Let's do a quick refresh. Okay, silver's up 14 cents. I'm really impressed with how resilient the silver price has been over, let's say, the last 2 to 3 weeks. Silver just keeps holding in there. I had said earlier, if we can make it through this, kind of July, mid-August timeframe with the silver price holding above 26, 27, 28-ish per ounce. But so far, knock on wood, okay, knock on some wood with me. I don't know if you heard that. Silver's holding strong. And this is why, right? Because guys, we're living off the reserves at the same time where the demand, because of what I showed you, is going through the roof. Let's say thank you to channel sponsor Pimbex, Pimbex. Okay, it's where I buy my silver. They sponsored the channel. I think August is going to be a full year, but I first started buying silver from Pimbex months before that. And as a happy customer, I was even more happy when they offered to sponsor Ron's Basement, because I know when I go to Pimbex, I've got a great selection to choose from. I mean, look at this, guys. All these different gold coins, all these different silver coins, bars, products, same with the platinum group, same thing. Okay. I know the selection's going to be great. I know that it's a company that I can trust. I've developed a very high level of confidence that when I order something from Pimbex, it's going to show up. It's going to be wrapped like Fort Knox. But what I really like is when I order something from Pimbex, that package that shows up, it's got a little extra silver in there because I'm able to buy an ounce or two more each time with all the money that I saved when I compare their prices to the other big online bullion dealers. But you need to figure it out for yourself. I never tell you what to do. I'm not giving financial advice, but I'll just say I think you'll benefit if next time you're looking to buy some silver, gold, or platinum, you check out Pimbex, and they can help with IRA conversions as well. Let's do an update here. Look at that. Since we've been on, silver's gone up 2 cents. Maybe we should just sit here all day. and keep hitting refresh. No, didn't work that time. All right, let's go back just quickly. We're not going to get into this. It's not just China. Okay, guys, and wait till you hear what's going on in Thailand and Vietnam right now with precious metals. It is happening. We don't know it's happening in the United States because of two things. Number one, we're so like we live in a bubble in the United States. And number two, the mainstream media and our government doesn't want us to know what's going on. Don't forget, guys, the federal government does not like gold and silver. That's been well proven and well documented. So while the rest of the world is going precious metals crazy, I mean, does it make sense that that's why we got gold at 2,300 and silver like $29 per ounce? The world is going crazy over these metals, but in America, we're like our heads are not you and me, but our fellow Americans. Heads are in the sand. That's what I'm trying to say. You want to look at India real quickly? All right, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this one, but India imports more silver in 4 months, the first 4 months of 2024, than in all of 2023. And again, we're not going to dig into this, but it's all from industrial demand. They're the world's biggest silver consumer. They just to put it in perspective down here in purple, they imported over 4,000 metric tons from January to April. And in last year, in that same period, January to April, they only imported 455. 4,200 this year, 460 last year. Case closed. Okay. All right. There's other big news going on. And then we're going to talk about what's happening in Thailand. I'm trying to get Bry, the Thai guy, to come on here. One of my best friends was my neighbor. He's lived in Thailand for like 20 years now. Super successful guy. He's not going to come on today, but I'm going to get Bry, the Thai guy, on here. He's like the president of the Rotary Club, super successful, smart, cool guy, to ask him what he's sensing on the streets of Thailand, because this news we're getting out of Thailand is crazy. But we got other big news stories to cover, things that are going to impact the price of silver and gold. Okay, let me make sure I got everything covered here. Yes, okay. All right, let's switch gears quickly, because the big news of the day, we got a couple of big news stories. Number one, our old friend, well, wait a minute, I guess. Boy, we've been on a roll lately. This guy, he's in Europe. He's over in Europe. Do you know who that is? Come on, if you don't know who that is, basement dwellers, you need to write it down right now. That's Jerome Powell. Hi, everybody. You may not like it. I don't like it, but I'm telling you, temporarily, just like when Nixon took us off the gold standard, temporarily, we're back in a little period of time when the silver price and gold price are going to be more dramatically affected by what goes on with economic data and the Federal Reserve. It does not diminish the fact that it still remains that it's short-term noise, but temporarily. Okay, remember back in December when gold was fighting for 2,000, and we predicted, us basement dwellers, that by May we would have $2,500 gold, which we came very close to. We got to 2,450. Go back and check the old live streams. Okay. But back in December, we said we're in a new environment, a new paradigm for the gold and silver price. And we are, but temporarily, we're still going to have little relapses. Right? Gold and silver are going to be, during the summer doldrums, affected by the Fed. And what do we get news? I mean, it's such BS. Okay. I'm sorry. I got to call it what it is. Okay. Such BS, such Mickey Mouse. Yahoo Finance has this article from Reuters that says Fed's Gomer Pyle says more evidence of falling inflation needed before the Fed cut. I mean, it's like wishy-washy. They're scared, guys. One day they're dovish. The next day they're hawkish. One day they're dovish. The next day they're hawkish. On the days when they're dovish, gold and silver are going to go up. On the days when they're hawkish, oh, we need to fight inflation and blah, blah, blah. The price of gold and silver go down. Let's just briefly look and say what he said here. In Portugal, what's he doing in Portugal? The U.S. central bank still needs more data before cutting interest rates to ensure that recent weaker inflation readings give a true picture of what's happening to the underlying price pressures. Federal
It's Gomer Powell.
Gomer Pyle? What did I say? What did I say? Susie, what did I say?
You said Gomer Powell, but I was saying call him Gomer Powell.
Oh, Gomer Powell. Okay, sorry. I'm subscribing to my suzerainty there. She says Gomer Powell. Gomer Powell. Thank you, Gomer Powell. No, it's Jerome. Anyway, look, he's playing Mickey Mouse games, guys. We aren't even going to read this. We're not even going to. It's either no matter how it works out, no matter all their little smoke and mirrors games that they're playing at this point, because this. Remember, this is based on nothing. It's based on confidence. And what are the first three letters in the word confidence? Con. Okay. Why do you think they have to put the Fed governors out every week and have speeches and try to control the market, manage expectations? Why has the Fed become more of a hold on, my dad's calling me. Why has the Fed become more of a public relations firm than they are a bank? Think about it. Okay. All right. Case closed. But just be prepared. Now, the big story, be scared or be excited. I made a prediction, but Friday's the big day. We're all going to party up on the 4th of July. Friday's a big, massive major news day. That's when we get the non-farm payroll number. Okay. If it comes in greater than expected, oh, we created all these jobs and oh, everything's awesome, blah, blah, blah. We're going to get killed in the silver and gold market. But what I think is going to happen instead is the number's going to come in under expectations. I think the hens have come home to roost. I could be dead wrong. Don't make any findings, but I think we could be in for a big positive up move day on Friday in the silver and gold market. Right? You can ask Susie. She'll tell you I'm wrong all the time. If I'm wrong, I'll come back on here. I'll say that I'm wrong, but the potential, I don't want to oversell this, but there's a good chance, guys, that if we get that news on Friday that the jobs numbers are down, it could be the catalyst to start what I would call an early summer rally in the metals. Okay. All right. I don't think that it's an odds-on favorite, but I think it's much more likely than a lot of people are willing to go out on a limb like I am and say it's the case. We're in the summer doldrums, but if we get this big news on Friday, Katie bar the door, right? We could have a big summer party, right? And guess what? I got news for you too, basement dwellers. You want a giveaway? I think I'll keep you posted. I think I'm pretty confident, actually, that we might be doing a silver giveaway thanks to our friends at Pimbex at the end of August, an end of summer giveaway. So stay tuned for that as well. Let's put up our banner. Hold on here, guys. Banner. There it is. To say thanks to Pimbex and all of our sponsors. And let's look at some charts. Crucial. That's what they're saying, right? I mean, I was here. Hold on. Let's look at this. This is what we'll go out to Yahoo Finance, and now I'm sure it'll be disappeared. Okay, here we go. Job openings, new hires, unexpectedly rise. So that was the JOLTS data that came out today. Powell says now we're getting back on a disinflationary path. It's all a bunch of noise, okay? Stocks search for direction after Powell comments, jobs data. One of the articles, and we're going to skip forward at this point, but one of the articles this morning said that Friday's big numbers are Okay, thank you, Susie. Susie's very active this morning. That's great. Critical, crucial. So they're really building up to Friday. Okay, I got a feeling we're in for a good day on Friday in the silver and gold market. Okay. Hey, wow. Here we are at silverseek.com. I want to go through some charts. These are some excellent charts from this website for silver and gold. And then look up there in the corner, Fortuna Silver, also Fortuna Mining, right? They've changed their name, but Fortuna is a sponsor of Ron's Basement. You can learn more about them at fortunamining.com. Here we go. Gold and silver charts looking most encouraging. And again, this is an article on silverseek.com by Clive Maund. I'm going to skip down to the charts. I don't know if I can click on this or not. Oh, yeah, that works. Okay. So, guys, this is gold. This is interesting what this guy sees in these gold charts. Trying to make that smaller so it takes up the whole screen, but I don't know that that's working. Okay, so this is gold, 6 months. Okay. All right, here we go. The trading range that has formed in gold from April is believed to be of a rectangular consolidation that will lead to another strong up leg. So here we go. We had gold, what, $2,000 back in February, right? We touched 2,000, shot all the way up, as you know, right, as we had predicted that we'd have 2,500 by May. We didn't quite get there. But nonetheless, during this period, starting around April, look at gold, right? Kind of in this zone. And what it's doing, right? And we're going to look at silver next, but what it's doing is it is getting rid of the weak hands. It's building a new base. Okay. And man, if we build this base, I was really hoping, well, here's the support down here at 2,200 and also support at 2,300. I was hoping this support would hold through the summer. So far, again, knock on wood, it's holding above 2,300. And if we get rid of enough of the sellers in this range, and with all the things going on in the world, we could definitely see a big move up, like a stair step move up. Let's go down and look at silver. Okay. And again, this is the MACD, which shows overbought, underbought. April's overbought condition is now fully unwound. So you can see the MACD indicator got really high, which meant, okay, I'm going to ring the bell. That's for 200 thumbs up. That's for you, basement dwellers. Thank you. Wow. I'm feeling lucky. Let's see if I can get the silver. Woof. Okay, here's silver. Let's look at the silver chart. Okay. Silver on a 6-month basis. And hold on here. See if I can make it smaller so that we can see it better. Okay. Silver. Okay. If you look at the silver chart, it's also very interesting, okay? Looks like a classic buy spot for silver here after its normal counter trend reaction back to support at the lower rail of the uptrend channel. So what he's saying is here's a channel, right? The two blue lines. And look how silver, let's just remember, guys, we had $22 silver on my birthday in mid-February, okay? Silver flew up. Now it's in this channel, goes up, down, up. $29 for silver is very, very critical. Now, because if we don't stick $29, they're saying the next support level is 26. That is ultra critical. If we get below $26 an ounce on silver, it could be not good. I'll be more depressed than normal. But nonetheless, these are called flags. I'm not a tech guru, but this is like a flag. Like there's the pole, there's the flag, and then it breaks up. There's the pole, there's the flag. If we can hold here and break up, and if we can do that over these summer months, woof, Katie bar the door, because we looked at yesterday on my charts, the long-term chart of the of silver with the cup and handle, and that we're in the handle of the cup and handle, and within the handle of the cup and handle, we got a cup and handle, an inverse head and shoulders, a wedge that we broke out of, all, support, everything else. This is the mining stocks. Look, the mining stocks are important because, guys, think about this. If money comes back into the gold and silver mining sector, which it has not been in, nobody's buying gold mining stocks. Nobody's buying silver mining stocks. It's like a high school gymnasium full of 400 people in the whole world that are buying and selling gold and silver mining stocks. And that's okay, because that gives a massive room for improvement. Like we could be moving to the the Rose Bowl with 80,000 seats full of people buying them. So if you're buying and holding precious metal mining stocks right now, you are an elite. You're smart and part of a small crowd, in my opinion. But the GDX, which is the gold miners index, again, he says remains a very positive chart for the past 2 months. The sector has been consolidating its strong gains from late February through mid-April and will soon be ready to advance anew. This is a buy area. So again, we went up, we shot up, right? And we're back in this area. Okay, thank you, Susie. These are support areas. I'm going to recognize the super chats in just 1 second, but what I want to say first is why it's important for us to look at the gold and silver mining stocks, right, as well, is because if some of those people, remember, right now, it's a high school gymnasium with 400 people trading gold and silver mining stocks. I'm sorry, but that's what it's like. I heard Peter Grandage say it's just me and him. He joked around, are the only people that buy and sell the precious metal mining stocks, right? When we get the Rose Bowl full of people, guess what, Buttercup? That's not just going to help the precious metal mining stocks, which it will, right? Which it will, because it's such a small time, but it will also bring renewed focus in the West to the to the physical metals, silver and gold, because let's be real, right? What we talked about earlier, the only reason, okay, don't take me wrong. Don't get me wrong here when I say this. It's not, we can thank you and I, the basement dwellers, right? And we got a huge community, almost 600 people with us now, but we aren't the reason why silver and gold have gone up. The Asians, right? The Chinese, they're the reason why. And wait till you hear this information about what's going on in Thailand and Vietnam. It's crazy, okay? So if we get Western investors buying gold mining stocks, and then they start to buy some silver and gold on top of it, it could move not only the mining stocks, but also the value of the actual metals as well. Let's go out here. I need to say thank you. Thank you, our good friend. There he is. Smiling, Ron McAdams. And you know what? You got a great first name. Thank you, Ron, for the super chat. Rachel also gave us a super chat. I want to recognize that. Thank you, Rachel. You're very welcome, and we appreciate, on behalf of myself, Susie, and my twin daughters, thank you for the support of the channel. Now, excuse me, guys. Let's look at, it's unbelievable what is happening right now in these markets. So let's go out and let's go to the Silver Academy, okay? Shanghai Gold Exchange inventory, massive outflows of silver. Does this jive with what we were talking about earlier, that they are sucking in all the world's silver? This is crazy. Well, we got a lot of animal analogies today. Remember, 1 kilowatt, 1 gigawatt, whatever, is equal to 1.3 million horses. But wait till you hear this. 215,000 kilos, and a kilo is about a little over like 35 ounces. Anyway, 215,000 kilos. This is roughly the weight of 60 adult, not juvenile, adult African elephants, or about 108 average cars. Elephants are big. I got to tell you this quick story. Remember Bry, the Thai guy that's at some point going to tell us about the demand for gold in Thailand? Well, I was in Thailand for like 5 weeks right before I got married to Susie, visiting with Brian. He was a college professor. We were in Hua Hin. Anyway, I traveled around the country, and I paid some money to go on an elephant ride. You couldn't believe how big an elephant is. When you're sitting on top, I was on this elephant. Quick story, we're going through the jungle in Thailand, and this elephant that I'm on, there was like a tree in the way, and it was a pretty big tree. And he just put his head down and pushed the tree over. And I remember I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Anyway, 60 adult African elephants worth of silver is how much silver came off the Shanghai Gold Exchange. It's the weekly inventory report. We actually looked at this yesterday. 215,000 kilograms last week left the Shanghai Gold Exchange. Okay, now, Remember, that's a physical market. That's not like the COMEX and the LBMA, where everything's paper, unicorn, fart dust, make believe, funny money, whatever you want to call it. 400 to 1 leverage, 100 to 1 leverage, whatever the heck the number is. Leverage, make believe, right? Right? For each 1 ounce of silver that's mined every year, there's like 400 electronic ounces. So, anyway, this is the physical market in Shanghai, and it's down 215,000 kilograms. What's a kilogram? Here we go. This is our friend John Little over at the Silver Academy, delivering the goods as normal, 1 kilogram. Man, we're learning a lot today, basement dwellers. We learned about gigawatts, kilograms. Anyway, 1 kilogram is equal to 35.27 ounces. I'll forget that as soon as I get off this page, but nonetheless, we know it for now. So 215,355 kilograms is equal to 7.6 million ounces. Okay. To put this large number into perspective, the 7.6 million ounces is equivalent to about 475,000 pounds. It's roughly the weight of 60 adult. How about you guys want to see some elephant pictures? 60 adult African elephants, or about 108 average cars. China's using all their silver. Okay. 90% of it. Photovoltaics going through the roof. We know that. Electroplating silver consumed, 3,000 tons. I didn't know that. This is China. Those are elephants. When you look at those elephants, imagine 60 of them, and there's elephants in cars as well. Interesting. Okay. Imagine that much silver in 1 week leaving the Shanghai Gold Exchange. More unreported. This was just interesting. The Silver Institute doesn't give us any numbers on how much silver is used by aerospace and military, right? They just kind of forget about that, right? We know it's solar, but it's also used in aerospace and military, but it's also used in nuclear. Silver is the material that absorbs excess radiation in nuclear reactors. We never hear about this. Westinghouse pressurized water reactors, there are over 3,000 of these rod cluster control assemblies, control rods in operation per the manufacturer. Silver may be better way. Okay. And these things have silver in them. And what he's proposing is, again, silver is silver, the new oil. Silver is used in solar. Silver is used in everything electric. Silver is everywhere. And now we're learning it's even critical to the nuclear power generation industry, because I found this in here. Okay, okay, see my pointer on the right, then it turns into a plus sign. The most widely used material for control rod absorbers is an alloy of 80% silver, 15% indium, and 5% candium. Okay, so there we go. Silver, 80% silver. On average, these rods must be replaced every 8.5 years, as opposed to the 15-year manufacturer service life estimated. That's a lot of silver, and it can't be recycled. You want that? It's hard enough to recycle silver, but you really don't want it if it's been in a nuclear reactor. Sometimes when the price of silver gets killed, we feel like our silver's been in a nuclear reactor, don't we, guys? No, we don't. We love our silver, just not nuclear, not silver that came from a nuclear reactor. No doubt about it. South China Morning Post. What are they telling us about silver? And we know what's going on in China. We know what's going on in India. We know. Let's talk about quickly, what is happening with the silver price. Silver demand. Now I'm all screwed up. Here we go. I hope you guys are still with me. This is from the South China Morning Post. This is from China. Gold buying frenzy grips. This is interesting. There's a lot hidden in this, so pay attention. Gold buying frenzy grips Vietnam and Thailand. Remember, Vietnam and Thailand are not China and India. We exhaustively covered why they are sucking in all the world's silver and gold. This is about gold, but Southeast Asia's rush for gold, they're calling it a gold rush, is pushing prices up. But it's not just everyday investors. Central banks are buying at a blistering rate too. I like this picture. This is customers. This is in Vietnam. Okay. This guy's got a silver helmet on. She wore her silver helmet when she went to the gold store. This lady, I don't know, I forget what these hats are called. I haven't seen one of those in forever. And I think this guy at the end, that might be Coin Shop Chris. Looking away from the camera because he doesn't want to be on camera. So there's Coin Shop Chris in Hanoi at a gold shop. And by the way, Coin Shop Chris has his own channel now. Go check it out at Coin Shop Chris. Just put that in the YouTube search bar, but don't do it now. Don't leave this video now, please, because we got a lot more to cover. And let's go down here. Anxious customers in Vietnam and Thailand are rushing to buy gold, a sign of Asia's mounting alarm, analysts say, over currency devaluations against the U.S. dollar, inflation, and geopolitical uncertainty. In red, visible queues of buyers. I'm not a big fancy word guy. A queue is a line. Visible lines of buyers waiting to snap up chunks of the yellow metal have persisted outside banks in Southeast Asian nations for months. This is the only sentence I'll repeat. You got lines of people waiting to buy gold, and it had been persistent outside banks, and it's been going on for months. Okay, quote, in orange, what they are trying to do is to protect themselves against local currency depreciation, said a Singapore-based commodities Michael Lanford. Anyway, thank you, Michael. We had no idea why they were doing it. Purple, if you don't have much money in life and all the goods that you buy and sell, this sounds like Americans. Think about us, the average Americans. If you don't have a lot of money in life and all the goods that you buy and sell are ultimately priced in U.S. dollars and your local currency is going down, that doesn't feel good. Yeah, like when you go to the dollar store to buy some dollar candy and they raise the price to $1.25. It doesn't feel good. Welcome to America. You have got inflation working against you. Plus, you've got currency depreciation. You get hit twice. Southeast Asia's rush for gold has pushed prices up over the last 6 to 12 months. Again, guys, this is Asia is who we can thank for these high prices. Let's go down. I got more highlighted. Don't you worry. Southeast Asians are particularly inclined to buy gold due to the long-held belief that the metal is a reliable, intangible, quote, long-term store of value compared with other assets. Yes, they have a complete, everybody but in America, because we've been brainwashed since 1930 against gold and silver. Everybody else in the world knows that it's a store of value. In purple, and it's not just these everyday investors who are seeking safe haven. Central banks are also buying gold at a quote-unquote blistering rate. More than 80% of central banks, I didn't realize it was this high. What is this telling us? Expect their reserve managers to increase their gold holdings over the next 12 months. A survey published by the council on June 18th revealed stockpiling the precious metal as a bulwark against heightened geopolitical risk and mounting macroeconomic uncertainties. There's a person at a Quickie Mart or a household electric. Where is that at? In Hanoi. All right, now. Typically, high U.S. interest rates would depress. Think about this, guys. This is what we talk about. This is another reason why the rally that we've had in the silver and gold market is so exciting, and that we're holding steady, right? We're holding the line over the summer because typically high U.S. interest rates would depress gold prices. Yet, gold's sustained strength suggests investors are more concerned with sticky global inflation, economic uncertainty, and geopolitical tensions than rising rates. National University of Singapore, I mean, it's coming from every direction. Business school strategy, and that's a long title for this guy to have. Strategy and policy lecture. He's got a long title and a shortest name in the history of the planet. Zhu Li. I wish I had, my last name has 11 letters in it. I wish I had my last name was Li. Think of all the time I've wasted writing my last name over the years. Anyway, in Asian markets, investors are bucking their typical pattern, here we go, of buying gold only on price dips, opting to purchase the precious metal even as prices surge, the World Gold Council said. fighting to buy. They're fighting to buy. Gold buyers rushed to Vietnam's state-owned banks in June after the central bank agreed to sell more gold to meet public demand and drive down prices. Banks rapidly depleted their supplies, forcing them to limit purchases. You're tuning out? You're tuning out?
Yes, so check out Steven's super chat, please.
Okay, I will. Are you going to do that list of chores that I left for you upstairs?
What?
Are you going to do the list of chores that I left for you upstairs, sweetheart?
Why don't you go take a bite of something?
Okay. All right. We're turning Susie off at this point. Banks rapidly depleted their supplies, forcing them to limit purchases to one tael, which is, my Lord, kilograms, grams, tons, and a tael is a form of measurement, guys. I forget what that one means. The lines continued for weeks until banks implemented an online registration system for gold purchases, which also filled up within minutes each day. Can you see it? Oh my gosh, hold on. Was there more? All right. Gold bars have now become the major channel of investment in Vietnam. Guys, Vietnam's a big economy. There are now lines in the rain and in the sun to buy bars. Commercial banks have sold 2 tons of gold in 1 week. Previously, they sold 2 tons in 1 month. Sorry, I'm yelling. Meanwhile, okay, anyway, in Thailand, hold on. Are you guys still there? I didn't lose you, did I? Basement? No, you're still there. Yeah, no, we're going to talk about Thailand next. People are lining up in the sun and the rain. Gold has become the main investment vehicle in Vietnam. But what about Thailand, you might be asking? All right, well, here, we're going to go to Thailand next. Let's go talk to one of our viewers, Stephen Edmonds. Good morning, Ron, from the Gold Coast. Thanks for keeping me up to try to get into the time zone. Leave today for Boca Raton for the Rick Rule conference. No, I'm not going to the conference, but you warn Rick Rule. Tell him give him a thumbs up when he's on. He's going to be on the basement. I'm going to interview him. I think on the 23rd is what it's scheduled for. So thank you for the super chat. Now let's go. Wow, thank you, Stephen. That is really awesome. Let's go back to this article. We're almost done, guys. In Thailand, too, ordinary investors are flocking to gold. Oh, boy. I think I like that name, Zhu Li, better. This one's a hard one to pronounce. Hold on. Make sure we got you guys. Nope, we don't. Darn it. Okay. Now, get back to the article. Okay. Ordinary investors are flocking to gold. Nuttapong. Okay. Nuttapong. Hirayui Yawasiri, managing director of MTS Gold Group, told the Asia Pacific Precious Metals Conference this was the first time in his career he has seen Thais buy gold when prices were rising. Quote, at this price, people should be selling, but everybody's buying. People are actually fighting to buy. Okay? And I've seen that Thai boxing. You don't want to fight with a Thai guy. Chinese investors also bolster gold prices as they join the buying frenzy. Videos on TikTok and its mainland China counterpart, Douyin, have shown crowds lining up. I hate that word, queuing, to purchase gold in cities like Shenzhen. Okay, guys, it's happening all over the world. Is it making sense? Are you seeing this is happening? I know, I understand. I'm in St. Louis, right? Home of the gold, the big giant silver arch, right? Okay, I understand. It's hard for us to fathom, but if we got on a plane right now and went to Asia and went around and looked at gold, there's a gold, apparently, right? There's a gold frenzy. Does it make sense when you look at the gold price? Guys, with interest rates as high as they are right now, with the dollar index, right? The best turd in the toilet contest, as high as it is right now, gold should be at like $1,800 an ounce, but it's not. And it's not because of what is going on in Asia. There's no other way to think about it, okay? There's no other fact. That's what's going on, and it's not stopping. And on top of that, the good news, I'm getting excited to share this with you. The good news, the great news, is it hasn't even started. Yet in America, it's like you got a car with a turbo button, okay? A nice car, right? A nice fast car. It's the gold, it's a gold and silver. You got a gold car, I got a silver car. But we both have a turbo button, right? Nitrous oxide, whatever you want to call it. These are good cars. We're driving fast, right? We're performing well. We haven't even pressed the turbo button yet. And do you know what the turbo button is? The turbo is when the Western investors come back, when they start to buy gold and silver mining stocks and they start to wake up, when this next wave of inflation hits. And baby, it's going to hit. There's no way that it's not going to hit. Look at the math. Look at the U.S. debt clock, right? Look at the debt that we have, right? Look at what's going on with the BRICS countries. Look at what, there's no way. There's just no way that the dollar is not going to go down in value. Listen to Matt Peipenberg. I'd highly recommend the guy from Gold. I think he's one of the smartest people in the world. Okay, besides you, because you're smart, and I know that because YouTube tells me that. The average viewer of a Ron's Basement video has a little bit higher, let's say, we'll call it intellectual horsepower, right? You don't have as much as 1 gigawatt worth of power of horsepower. That's what, 1.3 million, but you do. You know, it's real easy. You can get real confused, right? You can get all confused about, oh, what's going on in jobs numbers and inflation and DX. No, it's real easy because no matter where you look for evidence, it all points to one thing, and that is that this is going down in value. This is paper. This is nothing. This, right? This is an old-fashioned dollar. It's actually not a dollar, is it? Technically, it's, look at the very top. Can you read that? Let me hold it still. Right above the United States of America. There you go. It says, see that? Silver certificate. Okay. You see what it says down here on the bottom? $1 in silver, payable to the bearer on demand. These don't exist anymore. So the bottom line at the end of the day is this, right? It's just paper, confidence. You can get all confused. You can, trust me, I do it all the time. It's a struggle, right? Because there's so much data, but we know that the value of the dollar is going down. Now, what happens when the real value, not the turds in the toilet DXY index, right? The turd index, we're going to call it from now on. Not that. That means nothing. Who cares? Who cares if 10 years from now, the DXY index is right roughly where it is. It doesn't make a lick of difference, okay? Who cares if 10 years from now, right? You can trade one of these for €1. They're around parity, okay? Who cares? What you care about is what can you buy with this, right? Right? What can you buy with it 10 years from now? And I'll guarantee you one thing. What you're able, it's a mathematical absolute fact that 10 years from now, right? Even if the Fed were able to achieve their 2% devaluation that they shoot for, which they won't, you're going to be able to buy a heck of a lot less. Last time you're going to have to look at that. You'll get my pretty face the rest of the video, right? You're going to be able to buy a heck of a lot less with this, but, and it's a big but, and I know you like big buts. You do not lie, okay? Here, this, right? This, what do you think you can buy with this? Look at that beauty. That came from Coin Shop Chris, by the way. The gift he sent me. What do you think you can buy with this beauty today? And then think about this beauty and imagine me 10 years better looking than I am right now. Because I am one of those people that gets better looking with age. My mom's that way too. Hi, Mom. Mom's always, everybody say hi to my mom, will you? In the comments, say hi, Mom. She watches. She loves you guys. What do you think this is going to buy in 10 years? Oh, let's see. This today would buy about 8 gallons of gasoline. What do you think that's going to buy in 10 years? I put money, right? It's going to buy about 8 gallons of gasoline. All right. Yeah. What if I had $30 US dollars? I hate the things. What if I had 30 of these? right? This is not a silver certificate. That's $1. Okay. Do you think 30 of these is going to buy you 10 ounces of gasoline in 10 years? No. Keep dreaming. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Okay. Hey guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for the super chats. Please support our sponsors, right? We have Pimbex, Pimbex. Great guys. Check them out. Okay. I think you'll like what you find at Pimbex. First Mining Gold, Canadian gold development company with 2 multi-million ounce development stage projects in Canada. You can reach out to Paul Morris if you have any questions. I have his email address in the description of this video. We already talked about Fortuna Mining. You can learn more about them at fortunamining.com. Most important, take care of yourself, okay? I appreciate you being here on behalf